Good morning, fourth graders. Welcome back to math class. Let's start with a little bit of review. Recently, we added some new special numbers to our repertoire of special numbers that we've been memorizing. Let's see how many you remember. Here we go. 43,560. 9. 640. 144. Remember the trick for this one? Cover up the squares. 1 foot equals how many inches? 12. Now that we've learned what to square a number means, to multiply it by itself, what is 12 times 12? 144. Here's our big one. 43,560. Now I'm going to go a little faster. Here we go. 9. 640. 1,044. 43,560. Nice job. Okay, we also have been working on 4 new formulas recently. What is the formula for finding the area of a rectangle? Area equals length times width. What is the formula for finding the perimeter of a square? P equals 4 times S. What is the formula for finding the perimeter of a rectangle? P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W. What is the formula for finding the area of a square? Area equals side times side. Or we could say area equals S times S, or A equals S squared. This time, let's go a little faster. A equals L times W. P equals 4 times S. P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W. A equals S times S, or A equals S squared. Last one. A equals L times W. Good review, guys. Keep on working on those special numbers. Today, we're going to be doing a review of area and perimeter. Let's go ahead and open up your math books to lesson 149 on page 269. 269, there we go. Let's go ahead and get started this morning. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you. And let's do the entire front page together, okay? Here we go, starting with the top. These are gonna be some of our special numbers. How many square inches are in 1 square foot? Remember, cover up the squares. How many inches are in a foot? 12. 12 squared equals 144. Let's go across. If you have 640 acres, how many square miles do you have? Just 1. If you have 1 square yard, how many square feet do you have? 9. 3 square feet is equal to how many square yards? Well, how many feet does it take to equal a yard? Well, 3, but let's square that number. 3 squared is 9, very good. But we have less than 9, we have 3. So why don't we take the 3 and let's make it into a fraction. 3 over the special number, let's reduce that. 3/9 reduced is equal to 1/3. If you have 3 square feet, you have 1/3 of a square yard. 1 square foot is equal to 1 acre. 43,560, that's our big number that we've been working on. 12 square inches is equal to how many square feet? Well, let's write 12 over our special number, 144, and reduce that. Divide by 12. 1/12 is our answer. If you have 360 acres, how many square miles do you have? Well, the special number is 640. We have less than that. We have part of that, so part of that is a fraction. Let's write a fraction. 320 over 640. Let's reduce that by dividing by the numerator. Remember, that's the #1 rule of reducing. Always try to reduce by the numerator first. And if we do that, it will divide out evenly to 1/2. If you have 1,296 square inches, how many square feet do you have? Ooh, that might sound like a trick, but how many square inches are in a square foot? Okay, 100 inches in a foot, that would be 12. So square that, 144. Okay, why don't we work at the back? Start at the square yards and work our way back. Let's say, that we have 1 square yard. 1 square yard is equal to how many square feet? Well, that would be 9. 1 square yard is equal to 9 square feet, and 9 square feet is equal to 1,296 square inches. Remember, 144 is our special number for that. Inch to foot, we will be dividing by 144, like this. 1,296 divided by 144, and that would give us 9. And 9 is exactly what we have right there. Let's go on to finding the area. What is the formula for finding the area of a rectangle? A equals L times W. Let's go ahead and fill in for L and W. 20 times 16. Now I'm going to put 20 on the bottom because it's going to be easier for me to multiply that way. 2 times 6, 12, carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 makes 3. Our area is equal to 320 square feet. Let's move on to find the area of a square. Start with the formula first. A equals S times S, or S squared. Remember, S squared means the side times itself, or 7 times 7. 7 times 7 equals 49 square inches. Let's find the area of this rectangle. A equals L times W. Notice they do not tell us which one is length or which one is width. So how do we know which is which? Whichever one is the largest, that is your length. Remember our rules, we can only multiply a fraction by a fraction. We don't have one, so we make one by putting a fraction bar underneath a 10 and a 1 underneath the fraction bar. Let's do our backward C for 8 1/2, and that gives us 17 halves. Our best friend in fractions is cancellation, so let's cancel the 2 and the 10 by dividing by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, 10 divided by 2 is 5. Multiplying fractions is no problem. Top times top, bottom times bottom. 7 times 5, we probably don't have that one memorized, so let's go out to the side and work that out. 17 times 5, 7 times 5 is 35, carry the 3. 1 times 5 is 5, plus 3 makes 8. 85. 85 square yards. Square yards must be there in order for the answer to be correct. Moving on, let's review finding the perimeters. Remember, perimeter means around. Let's practice our song. Perimeter means around. Perimeter means around. Oh no, don't you know? Perimeter means around. You add up all the sides. You add up all the sides. Oh no, don't you know? You add up all the sides. Let's find the perimeter of this rectangle by using our perimeter formula instead of adding up all the sides this time. But that would totally still work. P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W. Remember to put your parentheses, and parentheses means do me first. Let's erase the L and replace the L with what the L stands for. The L stands for 20. 2 times 20 equals 40. 2 times 16 equals 32. Add those two together, what do you get? Do we need to square that? No, because we're talking about perimeter. Perimeter is never squared. Speaking of square, let's move on to finding the perimeter of a square. What is our formula for finding the perimeter of a square? P equals 4 times S. Erase the S, replace the S with what the S stands for, 7. 4 times 7 equals 28. Don't forget to put your measurement, 28 inches. Move on to the rectangle. P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W. 10 is our length because it is larger. 8 1/2 will be our width. Let's multiply. 2 times 10 is 20. If you can go ahead and multiply that out by multiplying 2 over 1 times and do your backward C, or you can split them apart. If you have 2 eighths, you have 16. 2 halves, that equals a whole. 16 plus 1 is 17. So 20 plus 17 equals 37 yards. Letter D has already been done for us because it's a green problem, and so is the green problem above that, letter D as well. Now, let's move on to section 4. From section 4, we're taking a look at each of these boxes individually, and we're ordering them from least to greatest. Let's put a number 1 next to the smallest of these units. Now, remember I said when we're talking about square inches, square miles, square feet, square yards, pretend like the square is not there. If we were to have an inch, a mile, a foot, or a yard, out of those 4, which one would typically be the smallest? The inch. So inch is going to be number 1. Obviously, I've just revealed to you what 4 and 5 is, but 4 and 5 are, but I bet you guys are so smart, you could have figured that out all by yourself. Now we have feet and yard left. Inches is 1. What is the next one up from that? A foot. And lastly of all, a yard. Now, that might happen with the green box and the purple box. I might reveal more than one. So we're just going to take it one step at a time. Ounce, ton, gram, pound, kilogram. Out of those, which one is the smallest? I want you to think about the weight of a dollar bill or a paper clip or even a packet of sugar. A gram. A gram is the smallest. I'm not going to reveal that one because I have a feeling that it's going to reveal them all. So let's just think gram 1. What is 1 up from that? Think about the size of a strawberry. An ounce. What's larger than an ounce? A pound. What's larger than a pound? A kilogram. A kilogram would be about the weight of like a pineapple. And then the largest of them all would be a ton. There we go. If we were to add an extra one onto this, if we were to make a 6th one, what would be larger than the ton? A metric ton. Do you remember how much a metric ton is? It's about 2,200 pounds. So add about 200 pounds onto the ton, and that would be the equivalent of a metric ton. Let's move on to the purple box. What is the smallest of them all? A cup. I did it. Oh, well, sorry. I was sharing this with a friend of mine the other day. I think it was one of you guys. It might have been somebody in the Mrs. Rocha class. I do not remember. But I said, a cup is like your fist. Okay, so give me a cup. There it is. Okay. Now, bigger than that would be a pint. Okay, 2 cups put together. That would be the equivalent of a pint. So cup 1, pint 2, put them together. A quart would be 2 of these. So if you put your hands up to mine and we were to put them together, that would be about the same size of a quart. What's larger than a quart? A liter, a liter. And remember, the gallon is the largest out of those, okay? When we first started talking about area, I mentioned area is typically done with flooring. And I said, whenever you're purchasing a new floor, you purchase the floor by usually the square foot. And let's say it's like $3 and something for every square foot. And I said, that's why it's, important that we take care of our floors and our carpets and all that, because it's expensive. We're going to find out just how expensive a floor could be. All of the story problems for this next section, section 5, have to deal with the same scenario or the same story. So let's do a real life story problem. Here we go. Mrs. Bradford has new tile on the kitchen floor. Ooh, how fancy. The kitchen is 13 feet by 14 feet. How many square feet of tile did she have to purchase? Well, first of all, let's circle our numbers. What do we have? 13 and 14. So let's figure out what kind of shape are we working with here. Square or a rectangle? A rectangle, because our numbers are different. So that means we're going to need a formula for finding something with a rectangle. Now let me ask you, do you think Mrs. Bradford put a new kitchen floor just around the edges? Or she wants the whole floor? She wants the whole floor. She wants the whole area of her kitchen floor redone, brand new. So we need to find the area of the kitchen. That means we need the area formula. A equals length times width. A equals, oh, it doesn't say which one is length, which one is bigger. 14 times 13. Let's go. Let's do this. 12, 4, 0, 4, 1, 2, 8, 1. Remember, area is always squared. That's why it says square feet here. So this is going to be 182 square feet that she needs to purchase from the store. Now keep that in mind. We're going to be using that for letter B. Each square foot of tile, oh my gracious, costs $9.79. Holy cow. What was the cost of the tile? Each. Okay. Oh, you know what? That's not fair. Let's go back. There we go. You saw nothing. All right. Each means we are going to be multiplying here. We're going to be multiplying $9.79 by our answer that we got in the previous story problem. Here we go. Come on, Mrs. Evans. You got to label this. Otherwise, we won't know what's going on. Okay. Let's put this on the bottom. Remember, it doesn't matter which one you put on the top, which one you put on the bottom, but you just do whatever is easiest for you. Easier for you, I should say, because there's only two options, top or bottom. We've got 2 digits behind this, so we're going to have 2 digits behind our decimal at the end. Let's keep that in mind. 2 times 9 is 18, carry the 1. 9 times 8 is 72, plus 1 is 73, carry the 7. 1 times 9 is 9, plus 7 makes 16. Annex a 0, cross through what you carried. 7 times 2 is 14, carry the 1. 8 times 7 is 56, plus 1 is 57, carry the 5. 1 times 7 is 7, plus 5 makes 12. Annex 2 zeros, cross through what we carried. Hey, we're multiplying by 9 again. So let's copy down our first partial product one more time. 8, 3, 6, 1. Add the 3 partial products together. Here we go. 8, 7, 13 plus 8 is, let's see, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 2, 3, 5, 8. 1 plus 6 makes 7. 1 plus nothing is 1. Hey, go back to the part. Go over 2 digits, 1, 2, decimal point. Now count to 3. 1, 2, 3, comma, $, circle. Wow. $1,781.78 for the kitchen floor alone. Now, I want you to stop the video right now and go to your parents and say thank you for giving me a floor in the kitchen, because I know it's expensive and I'm sorry that I spilled stuff on it earlier. Okay, let's take care of what we have. Here we go. Letter C. Mr. Bradford hired 2 men. Oh my goodness, we're not even done. It gets more expensive. Mr. Bradford hired 2 men to lay the tile. I forgot. The tile is just sitting there. It hasn't been installed yet. We still have to pay for the installing or the laying down of the tile. Right now, you're just looking at it all stacked up. You can't actually walk on it. This has just gotten way more expensive. Such is life. Here we go. Mr. Bradford hired 2 men to lay the tile. Each man worked 7 hours at the rate of $35.50 per hour. Wow, that's a lot. I would love to get paid that much. What was the cost of having the tile laid? Wow. Well, let's figure out how many hours they're working. Okay, they worked for 7 hours, yes? That's for 1 man. How many men did he hire? 2 men. So 1 man worked for 7 hours and the other man worked for 7 hours. How many hours did they work in all? 14 hours, but that's not the question, but we had to figure out that first. What was the cost of having the tile laid? It's $35.50 per hour. Remember, per means to multiply. So we need to multiply $35.50 times, let's put that decimal so we can see it, times 14. Here we go. 2. Oh, back up. Anything times 0 is 0. 20, carry the 2. 20 plus 2 is 2, 22. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2, 14. Cross through what we carried, annex to 0. Anything times 1 equals the other number. 0, 5, 5, 3. Add your partial products together. Here we go. See if you can beat me. 0, 0, 7, 9, 4. 2, 1, 2. Decimal point, $sign, circle, boom. Wow. $497 just to get the floor installed. Letter D. What was the total cost of the tile and the labor for laying the tile? Okay. This was the cost of the tile. This was the labor or having the tile laid. We have to now take those 2 amounts and combine them together. And that is how much Mrs. Bradford is having to pay for that floor. If we're combining 2 totals together, what do we need to do? Yep, we need to add. Here we go. See if you can beat me. Go, 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 go. Line up your decimals when you are adding or subtracting. Line up your decimals when you are adding or subtracting. You will discover when one is neath the other, the answer you get will be correct. So line up your decimals when you add or subtract. Done. Okay. Are you done? That's the question. How much did it cost for the brand new floor? Drum roll. There we go. Wow. $2,278.78. I'm telling you, if you have not went and thanked mom, dad, grandma, grandpa, aunt, uncle, whoever for the kitchen floor, stop and do that right now because floors are expensive. Everything in your house has a monetary value or a money value attached to it. So we need to make sure that we're being good stewards of the things that we have, even the floors. Oh man, I think I need to vacuum my floor right after this video. Okay, so I gotta run vacuum. I wanna be a good steward. Meanwhile, while I'm vacuuming, I want you to flip the page. Since we did all of the front together, I want you to do all the back independently. That means all by yourself. And then we will check it together, okay? I gotta go vacuum this floor.